Hi, Scott Orlin with Cinema Magazine. Each year at the Berlinale for the past 20 years, they've been selecting 10 European stars to watch. And I'm here for 2021 with one of those, Natasha Stork from Hungary. Congratulations. What does this mean for you to be recognized by the European community in this way?
It's such a great honor, and it's wonderful to be here in the middle of the coronavirus situation, and it's really like a present, that I can meet you, I can meet my fellow shooting stars. It's just wonderful to share experiences and or thoughts in this absurd situation.
Have you ever been to the Berlinale before?
Never, never. But I hope that we are going to go there in June. Let's hope the best.
So let's take you back to Hungary, kind of where you started. What was your first creative spark? What was it, if you remember in your childhood, that you went, I need to express myself this way?
First of all, my father was a set designer in films, and he inspired me so much. And I was amazed by movies and also movie making. And I always adored film actresses. And probably that's one side. And also, I have a memory from my childhood when I saw someone in a wheelchair, and I just adored how he looked like, but I cannot really express it. But I had a little, a little chair, and I sit down, and I try to understand this man in the wheelchair, and but I didn't do anything physically. And my grandfather shouted on me, "Don't sit like that. And you look like someone in a wheelchair." And I was like, oh yes. And I was searching this feeling that you think something and it happens. And for me it was kind of a magic then, and still now.
So it must have been fascinating with your father as a set designer. Did you have an opportunity as a young girl to go on sets? I mean, and what type of kind of spark did it put in you that, God, I like this environment. I like, where your imagination can go.
I just saw that he worked so hard, and it's kind of an art, but also an applied art. I was interested about this creative process. I also have to say that he was pretty strict, and he didn't want to bring me all the time in his work. So of course I was just adoring his work. And once I was invited for, as a child, I was invited for a little role. I should sell flowers on the street as a child, and he didn't let me go.
Oh no.
And I remember that because he wanted me to go to school, actually, which is a normal thing. But I was crying and crying all night. And I was like, okay, now I punish you for this. And I become an actress. And it happened.
But it's funny because you kind of married the two elements, that your family wanted you to go to school and that you wanted to be an actress, and you went to the University of Theater and Film. What did that schooling provide you? I mean, obviously a good education, but what type of artistic, endeavors did it put in front of you?
Hungarian University for acting is very good. Mainly we learned stage acting, but before everything we just tried to experiment and be on the present. And so we didn't really start with big gestures, acting on huge stages, but we learned how to think about a character or how to think about a play. And uh, it was wonderful to me. And actually, I have a fun fact about it, because in the movie Preparations to Be Together for an Unknown period of time, my partner was one of my main teacher in the university. So Victor Bodo was teaching me there for acting, and now after 10 years, I got the opportunity to play with him.
Let's talk about the first time you were ever on camera. Was it a natural experience for you? Some people get very intimidated by the camera lens. They become very self-centered. They're aware of it. Others, it's just a natural thing and they forget it's there.
It wasn't natural at all at the first time. And step by step, I had to make kind of a friendship with the camera. And I started to enjoy that it's close to me, and whatever I think, it appears on the screen. And now I feel comfortable most of the time, or I can enjoy that. I don't have to do big things, just think something and it's there.
I want to ask you, with success comes opportunities. And please God that other filmmakers in various countries are going to allow you to come in and make movies for them. How proficient with different languages are you? Obviously, you speak Hungarian, you speak English. What other type of language opportunities present themselves for you?
I was lucky enough to be invited to Paris once, to Hamburg, to Switzerland, to play characters in theater. But it always required kind of language skills, but it was the accent was also part of the game. So I played on many different languages that I cannot speak, but I learned my lines in French, in Croatian, in German. So I spoke a lot of languages, but I cannot speak, unfortunately.
That's quite intimidating. And a last question for you, Natasha, is for many people now, the first movie they may go to see could be one of your movies. So I'm going to take you back to your childhood. What is the first movie you remember ever seeing?
First thing came to my mind was Last Tango in Paris, but it's not true, of course. But I remember that this touched me very much somehow.
Oh my, I was thinking it was going to be Bambi. It was going to be some nice little Disney movie.
Something like, I even blushed. Okay. So I maybe E.T., I guess. But the first big experience was somehow Last Tango in Paris.
Well, I'm sorry you're not getting your last tango or your first tango in Berlin, but it will happen. Congratulations on the Shooting Star Award. Well deserved. Natasha, it's been a pleasure. And this is Scott. Till next time.
Thank you very much.